Hello there, and welcome back to the Yoke in Abundance Wise Women podcast. I am coming at you today with a solo episode. And like always, these solo episodes, they make me a little nervous, right? That's such a good thing, though. Nervousness is a sign that something important is about to transpire. And I have some important stuff to talk to you about this evening. But before I do, I want to just give a great shout out to our sponsor, Fike & Co. Fike & Co is a progressive boutique consulting firm that works with entrepreneurs, startups, small to medium-sized companies, and larger organizations to cultivate a place where people love coming to work. With a focus foremost on diversity, inclusion, belonging, and equality, Fike & Co pushes business leaders to push the boundaries of what a great workplace environment means and is for all of their employees. If you are starting from scratch with a small team, or if you are looking to grow your current team, Fike & Co can help you scale your business in a way that both adds to the bottom line while also boosting engagement. From talent acquisition, onboarding, and compensation to HR compliance, performance management, and employee relations, Fike & Co has worked with more than 50 companies across the country and worldwide in various stages of growth. If you're looking for strategic guidance on people programs or interim people leadership, contact Fike & Co. Your people will thank you. Now on to what we're going to talk about for the rest of this evening. So I have a couple things that I wanted to dive in with you on. So it is November. I am recording this on Saturday evening. You will get access to this. Be listening to this on either Monday or Tuesday, I'm assuming, or you'll hear it come out on either Monday or Tuesday. And so we're in the beginning of November, right? And for me, November ushers in so many emotions. This is Scorpio season. I am a Scorpio and we are deep in it. We just passed the Scorpio new moon, which even Chani Nicholas, one of the foremost folks, experts on astrology, I saw her do a new moon in Scorpio video, and what she said was, this is a horrible time for manifesting, but this is a great time for getting clear on what you want in your life, what you don't want in your life. And it's so funny because I am not really great at quote unquote manifesting per se. And I just think that so much that I know about my sign and my chart, my birth chart, really falls into that of like, just not, I am here to be clear on what I'm doing. And I'm clear on what I'm doing. And it's interesting. Scorpio is such a time of swimming. I call it swimming in the deep end. So I also am an Enneagram 4. And Enneagram 4s, we like to be all in our feelings. I can sit with you in your grief. I can sit with you in your sadness. I can hold space for the difficult and not try to change it or fix it, but allow you to feel it. That's one of my superpowers. But gosh, practicing that, and I can practice that in my own life. And the thing is that I'm good at it because I know how to practice that in my own life, and I know how to do that with others. And Scorpio season, November. So like, I love Halloween. That is 100% my favorite quote unquote holiday. And it, for so many different reasons, getting to put on a costume and step into the shoes of someone else or something else, the imagination and magic. Samhain, the pagan holiday where they say the veil between our world and the world of spirits is the thinnest. I feel that magic. And this season, it's like this season brings us so many opportunities to examine our heart and our soul and our true intentions in life and in relationships. And that's beautiful, but it's also very dark. It can get very, very dark in the Alicia land that I live in. And it's one of those dark times. I'm fine as far as things go, so I don't want anybody to be worried. But I do want to talk, I just want to forewarn you that I want to talk about the darker things today. I want to dive in the deep end, so to speak. So if you're not in the mood for a deep dive, just pass on this one. But if you're curious about where I'm going to go with the darker, deep end of things, stick with me. Especially stick with me today if you are an entrepreneur, a business owner, a solopreneur, whatever title you want to give yourself, a maker, a creative, someone who has to sell their work and put themselves out there in order to make a living, which I do. I am going to be diving in today a little bit further down the line on what it's like to be someone that struggles with anxiety and depression, and also have to put yourself out there in social media and wanting to do it authentically, but not knowing how to maybe learning how to juggle that. I'm going to be talking about that in today's podcast. So stick with me if that's what you do. And there'll be nuggets in here for anyone really who struggles with the darker seasons. I'll be talking about tools and resources and community and how we can get through this together. So, all right, it's November, like I said, and we are like less than 13 days away from my birthday. We are less than, I think, 11 days away from what would be my father's birthday if he were still alive. And this is November. Gosh, my brother just had a birthday. My dad's dad would have also had a November birthday. He would be up there in years. Gosh, at least 100, I think. I need to look that up. But my uncle, my grandfather, we called him Bert. I didn't call him Bert. My grandma called him Bert, Albert Wilford. And he was a really wonderful man and farmer. And I wonder, when you're a farmer, if it is easier to combat the seasonal affective disorder stuff because you're outside. So I wonder about that sometimes. I told a friend recently, I said, I think that it might be a good idea if I had work that I had to go outside for every single day and just be out in the elements all day long. I think that would really help, keep my mood up this time of year if I just had to be out in it and had to wear out my body in that way with like physical labor. So maybe I should have been a farmer. No, but really, so what's happening is as the days get shorter and shorter and shorter, I have to bring in more and more tools to keep my mood, at this real, at an even place, right? So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm upping my exercise. So I've been thinking about, do I want to do Markathon again this year? And so for those of you that are new to this podcast, Markathon is something that I do every December, and it is running a minimum of a 5K or 25 minutes every day in the month of December. It's just a personal challenge. It's a personal running challenge. So you run every day. If there's a day that you skip it, well, you're out. Nobody is tracking this aside from you. This is a challenge, a personal challenge, a personal commitment. And the reason why I typically do it is because it gets me outside every day, as I just said I needed, and it ups my physical activity, which ups the endorphins that are in the good chemicals that are running to my brain. So it helps significantly with that. So I was contemplating, do I want to do Markathon again this year or not? And the answer is yes, by golly, Alicia, you need to do Markathon. So if you are someone that struggles at all, think about upping your physical activity. I'm not a doctor. Of course, you'll want to consult your doctor first, right? But that I want to get those good chemicals going to my brain. Another thing that I do is, I don't drink a ton of alcohol, but alcohol is a depressant. So when I get really down, I try to cut back or eliminate alcohol from my diet, purely from a standpoint of not wanting to add anything to my diet that's going to help bring the good chemicals in my brain down, right? I don't want to wake up the next day after drinking with already a deficit of the good chemicals running through my brain. So that's another thing that I typically tend to cut back on or eliminate as we move into these darker months that I tend to struggle through. I also try to surround myself with community. I swear to God, raw. I mean, I know I'm the facilitator, but I get so much out of the Reawakening Wisdom community. That is our daily community. We meet Monday through Friday, and we have two groups. There's a 7:45 to 8:45 a.m. group, and there's a 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. group. And here's the thing. We come together, we write our morning pages for 25 minutes, and then we have 30 minutes to talk about what comes up for us, right? So within this hour, we get time alone, commitment to ourselves and our writing practice, and then we also get 30 minutes to just talk in community about what's coming up for us. So it feeds this really spiritual thing. It provides structure to your day. And I've now opened up both sessions. So here's the thing. If you purchase a membership to Raw, you actually now you could spend all morning with me. You could come to both groups. You can pick which group you come to. So, it doesn't matter. You can work that schedule around your personal scheduling needs, coming to whichever one works best for you that day. So, it's a huge bang for your buck, especially if you're coming to multiple sessions in one day, which some people do. I call it double dipping, right? Like those people that really need an extra dose of personal writing time and community. And that structure and that community has been, even though I'm the facilitator, it has been integral to my life. It has been integral to my sanity. And it just helps, especially the structure that I get. So if you are here's the thing, being a creative, being an entrepreneur, being a solopreneur, being someone who is in business for themselves, if you're a consultant, if you set your own schedule, you may decide that that you want to join Raw purely because of the structure that it gives you and the community that it gives you. It can be so lonely. And I know that many of us are zoomed out, right? There's Zoom fatigue. It is real, but I'm telling you, Raw is not the place where you will experience Zoom fatigue. So for me, it's really energizing. It's connecting. It's authentic. It's real. And the women that are in Raw are just incredible. We have all different ages. We have different perspectives, but the theme that brings us all together every single time, every single session, is that we're all committed to our personal growth, to introspection, and to really not being afraid to talk about and tackle the issues that we're dealing with our life and to do something about it. And I think that is just pretty incredible. I can't quite put it to words, but I can tell you that it is one of the tools in my life, and I pay extra special attention and care to it in these winter months when I am just feeling down and lethargic. So, given that my birthday is coming up on the 19th, so I will be turning 39. This will be my last year in my 30s. And I have to tell you, my 30s so far have been a pretty damn good decade. I opened Greensboro Downtown Yoga on my 30th birthday. I signed the lease to open Greensboro Downtown Yoga on my 30th birthday. That was pretty cool. And, I ran that yoga studio for 5 years and I learned so much, and it was hard. And if you had told me when I started how hard it was going to be, I wouldn't have done it. If I had really understood the depth of dedication and commitment and challenge that yoga studio was going to give me, I wouldn't have done it. And I'm so glad I didn't know how hard it was going to be going in, because I learned so much in the process. It's been just tremendous. And it's really what set the stage for me and gave me the confidence to build Yoke and Abundance. In my 30s so far, as we get to our birthdays, we start reflecting. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm taking you all along for the ride with me. So in my 30s, I also got up the courage to finally quit a corporate job that was phenomenal, but not right for me. And then I embarked on the year of the travel in 2017. I gave myself a year of traveling, and it was pretty amazing. It was, yes, adventure. It was introspection. It was the first year of building my business. And because I had no idea what I was doing, I had, downtime that I didn't know what to do with. And I'm glad that I was able to spend it traveling and writing about the travel and slowly building my business in a really thoughtful way. Leading groups of women in, I launched in the company of women that year. That was a phenomenal 6-week group coaching program that I went on to lead for years after that. And it was really the precursor to Raw. And yes, I wish that I could have a group of women still in my living room every 6 weeks, right? For 6 weeks. But with the pandemic and that this business is now global, I work with women around the world. I'm proud of that. And that's accessible because it's online, because it's via Zoom. And, in my 30s now, I've, all of us have lived through a pandemic now. And that pandemic has really, it's kind of what I was made for in some ways, right? It helped accelerate the community building that I am really good at within the Yoke and Abundance community, within women. And even though we've been doing it in an online way, it's been beautiful in that way. In my 30s, I've been building this business, Yoke and Abundance. And if all goes as planned, which it should, I will have completed a book in my 30s and completed and published a book in my 30s. That this will happen in my 39th year. I'd set lots of goals for myself of what do I want to complete as an adult, and I'm working on it, which leads me to a question that I've been asking myself and struggling with and talked about in the Yoke and Abundance community recently. And I shared that something that comes up for me over and over and over again is, do I want to go to graduate school? Do I want to go to graduate school? When this question comes up, normally I'll have a hankering to get a degree in counseling, or an MSW, Master's of Social Work, Masters of Social Work or counseling. I think about it on so many different levels. I think about the doors that a master's can help open. I think about, the relationships that you build in graduate school, the professional relationships you start to make within graduate school. And I also think about what I would be learning from a coaching standpoint. I mean, I know that coaching and counseling are not the same. They're not the same. They are very different, and they are very the same in some ways. And I think, okay, I could build a counseling business along with this coaching business. I'm not ready. Never say never, right? But I'm not entertaining the idea of letting go of this business. It would be more of adding to this business, adding to my body of knowledge as a coach, adding the counseling component. It would give me more information when I write my books. I have a better basis of knowledge around research. And then maybe I'd go on for a PhD. Maybe I would be doing more research myself, which does intrigue me. I've thought a lot about that. And every time this comes up, I've had this conversation with my boyfriend, Philip, a number of times, like, hey, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? I really value his opinion. And he's so kind. He says to me, when I brought this up with him, he said, hey, I'll support you in whatever it is that you want to be doing. And I think you're already doing what you need to be doing. I don't think you need to go take out more student loans and jump through those hoops and he's right, I do not want to go jump through hoops, which that is what graduate school is. Go jump through all of the hoops that a school and graduate school would be presenting to you. And he's right. I don't exactly want to do that part of it. And what I wonder, this is the part that I brought to the Yoke and Abundance community. So many of us say, I'll be happy when I write the book, I lose those 10 pounds, when I get the relationship, when we get married, I'll be happy. When we have that baby, I'll be happy. I'll be happy when we get settled, when we get the right house, when we get that renovation. I'll be happy when. And every time I think about going to graduate school, yes, there's so many pros to going to graduate school. There are so many reasons why I would really love graduate school. But I'm curious if you have any reoccurring thoughts like this, like what in your head, when that big birthday starts coming closer and closer, do you think, oh, maybe I should go do this? Or, oh, that you come to that time in your life, I think everyone has it, where it's a cyclical things, cyclical, that's the word I'm looking for, the cyclical thing that comes at every year, right? So every year whenever it is that you get reflective in your life. So for some of us, it's around a birthday, or for some of us, it's around a death, or for some of us, it's around the new year. So for me, it's like around my birthday and the new year, where this question comes up of like, what do I want to accomplish? What boxes do I want to check? And I wonder if this is a box that I want to check just to check a box, or is this a box that's actually important to me? I haven't been able to answer that question yet. But I also wonder, is graduate school my losing the next 10 pounds? Or is graduate school my I'll be happy when I go to graduate school and get that whatever at the end of my name? But it doesn't stop. There's always one more thing. So when are we just happy with what we have? And when do we know it is time to press on to the next thing? Right. And so when I was talking about this with the Yoke and Abundance community, someone brought up um, doubt means don't, right? Or not yet. If there's doubt, it means not yet. And in some ways, that's true. I know I could do graduate school. I know I would probably be really good at it. I know that there would be doors that it would open for me. There's things about it that I would really, really like. So, what is that for you in your life? What is the thing that you're telling yourself, I will be happy when I check that box, when I get that thing? Luckily, I am happy where I am right now. But sometimes these spaces in our lives open up. And I think about it like often when the depression creeps in for me, like it is right now, coupled with the getting close to a birthday coming up, you start to think about these things. What am I doing with my life? And for me, the pursuit of quote unquote happiness has never been the thing. It's 100% the pursuit of meaning. I'm pursuing things that will bring me meaning and purpose, but I don't want to do them in a just check the box to check the box kind of way. I want to do them in a way where this is a project and it has meaning and it's got a start and an end date. And maybe this thing that I'm doing will help other people. So, what is that for you? Do you have that thing that you're thinking about where you're wondering if it is going to bring meaning and purpose to your life? And how do you make the decisions around that? I think that I've committed myself right now to just being in the unknowing of, do I want to go to graduate school? Do I not want to go to graduate school? I'm going to allow myself to sit in the uncertainty of it for another year. And this is what I keep telling, until I am absolutely sure. And until I am more sure that that is the direction that I want to go. Although I'm not getting any younger, and I would say that jokingly, I'm not getting any younger. I'm not old, but I'm also no spring chicken these days, right? Luckily I've got great genes where I think I look pretty young, personally speaking. I don't get carded as much as I used to, but my mom looked pretty young for a really long time, and so did my dad. And I think that I have those genes, but I am no spring chicken. And none of us know when our expiration date is. So that's what I am thinking about as I embark on my countdown to age 39. And I know I will be thinking about a little bit further after that comes through, what have I been put on this earth to do? And am I doing a good job of being a steward of that purpose? And I want to ask you that question too. Do you know what you've been put on this earth to do? And are you a good steward of that purpose and of that mission? And how do you know? How do you measure it? There's that beautiful Rent song, the Broadway musical Rent, which oddly it came out when I was in high school, and I would sing it over and over and over, the whole soundtrack. And it was edgy for this little Catholic girl and her Catholic upbringing. And it's actually a little dated these days, but the universal meaning and principles that it brings up are absolutely still relevant. How do you measure a life? 525,600 minutes in sunsets, right? I could sing you the song, but I'm going to spare you. In inches and miles and laughter and light. How do you measure? And I definitely measure a lot of my purpose and my meaning through the work that I do in Yoke and Abundance. Am I modeling good behavior as a business owner? Am I treating my clients with love and respect? Am I being a good communicator? Am I producing programming that's meaningful, that makes a difference, that entertains, that helps women grow? That's really what my mission is. And I'm weighing that every day. Every day I'm weighing that. And honestly, that's one of the things that keeps me so very anchored when it gets really hard, So I'll just give you an example of, something that happens to me this time of year as a business owner that is also expected to, social media is a free platform, and it is a way to get the word out about this work that I do. And I want to present myself authentically. But this time of year, I'm not going to lie, I spend a good majority of my days in bed binging on Netflix. That might not be something you know about me. It might not be what you picture about me. And it is certainly not what I am putting out there on social media, not because I don't want to be inauthentic, but because it's just a really effing hard place in my life right now. Often when I'm deep in my version of depression, it's hard for me to answer the emails or do the work that I know needs to be done, the bare minimum amount of work that needs to be done to produce the podcast or to, any little thing, to launch the new product or to publicize the business on social media. And you're caught in a catch-22, right? I told my boyfriend today, I'm like, I'm going to talk on the podcast today about how hard it is to be an entrepreneur and a business owner when depression sets in, my type of depression sets in. And I feel like in some ways I'm really lucky. I feel like there are a lot of people that have it a lot harder than I do because I can get out of bed. And I can kind of push myself through to do the bare minimum. But I want to be really honest that this time of year, there are days where it takes a lot to keep pushing through. And I've learned how to manage that. And I've learned how to engineer kind of my days in a way that work for me to work around that. And if I were still in my corporate job, I would just muscle through. And I am so grateful that I'm now my own business owner and I can choose to work from bed or spend the majority of the day in bed watching Netflix and then do my work in the evening once it's been put off to the very last minute. So it still gets done. I still do the work. But this is a reality of a lot of us solo business owners that I think does not get talked about. So I'm being very honest and very transparent with all of you, not because I want, oh, woe is me, but because if you feel this way, I need you to know you are not alone. I want you to hear me. If you have days that you struggle to get through the day and do the bare minimum of work, and you don't want to put your face on social media because it is hard, I'm giving you a permission slip to not put your face on social media. And I just want you to know that you are not alone. You are not alone. This is a reality for business owners because a lot of times things that contribute to our seasonal affective disorder, to depression, are the demands of the businesses that we love to serve, the tight cash flow situations, the limited resources we have sometimes with publicizing ourselves, the very difficulties that arise from being the face of your brand. It's so wonderful to be the face of your brand, but when you are sad and you are lonely and you are down, it makes it very difficult to put yourself out there in an authentic and true way. And I have worked with a few clients recently in deep dives. I do 2-hour business deep dives where we look at where they are in their business and where they want to be in their business, and then build the strategy around that. And I know that this is something that other business owners are struggling with too, and it does not get talked about very often. So I repeat, I am not sharing this because you need to be worried about me. You don't. I know how to manage this. And I don't want you to be sad for sad's sake. I don't even know exactly what that means. But I share this because it is real and it is hard. And sometimes I feel like just being a business owner in and of itself is depression inducing, even if you are not someone that struggles with it in your brain chemically on your own. I think I do struggle with it chemically in my brain on its own. This is something that comes up and it is hard, and you're not alone. And that's the main message I need you to hear tonight. The secondary message that I wanted to share with you is, as we move into December and January and we get closer to the holidays, there becomes this pressure of end the year strong, hit your goals. Great, that's great. It is great to hit your goals. And then there's the pressure to set new goals. And I am all for goal setting. I am all for going after your dreams and your desires. And what I want to ask you to do is be very mindful of the messages that you are getting. Because setting a goal in itself is beautiful. Hitting a goal in itself is beautiful to do as well. But not if you are arbitrarily checking boxes purely to check boxes. Make sure that those goals that you are setting for yourself help you connect to the meaning and the purpose that you know you've been put on this earth to address. I do believe that each of us needs to make meaning of our lives. I don't think all of us are meant to do work that connects us to our purpose, but we will feel more fulfilled and we will feel better if we are connected to meaning and to purpose. And I am able to give myself the luxury of saying, no, Alicia, keep thinking about graduate school, don't apply yet. Because what I do does give me deep meaning. It helps me feel very connected to purpose. So what is that for you? When you see yourself setting another goal or wondering if that next thing will make you happy, is that next thing connecting you to your meaning and to your purpose? What do you think? I'd love to know. This episode was a lot more meandering than I normally would like them to be. And so thank you for everyone that has come with me on today's podcast journey. I wanted to shed light on some difficult things. And just remember, as we go into this holiday season, I just want to encourage you to buy local, buy from small business owners, buy from artists that you know, buy from your friends who have made those businesses. It's contributing to meaning and purpose, and helping small businesses helps keep money in the local economy. Something I feel really passionate about, not just because I'm a small business owner, but because I believe that your dollar is a vote. And you can vote for your friends, and you can vote for your community, and you can vote for the creatives in your life. And that's important. And get ready, because Little Failures is on pre-sale the week of November 20th. So look out, world. Pre-sale is coming. You all are the first to know that that is coming so soon. And look out, because here we come. And if you are someone that really enjoys being a part of the Yoke and Abundance community, or if you're someone that is looking to connect to more meaning and to more purpose, and to other women who are looking for more meaning and purpose in their lives, know that I am planning a retreat, a online retreat in early December that will also come out with the year ahead and year in review notebook that is coming out for reviewing this year, 2021, and looking to do a little planning and purpose and meaning making in 2022. So that will be on order coming up soon too, along with that retreat. So look out for really fun things to come, and join us for Raw. If you have been thinking about it, stop thinking, come join us. You can join us even just for a month and see how it goes. I promise it will be an experience you remember. Most people I don't think I've ever had anyone try it just for a month and not come back, actually. Most people get hooked. You can come once and you're probably going to be stuck with us for life, because the community is so beautiful and so strong, and we try to make people feel right at home from day one. So thank you for being with me here today. I hope that you're having a wonderful, wonderful day as you are out walking or driving or cleaning the house, or however it is that you like to listen. I'm glad that we got to spend this time together today. Take care.